Last Friday had so many releases. We had Artemis Fowl, we had The Five Bloods, and we also got Season 4 of F is for Family. So that is what my review is going to be on today. So if you don't know, F is for Family focuses on a troubled family in the 70s. It is an animated show, and on Friday they released the whole 4th season, 18 months after the previous season. That was the synopsis for the whole series. This season focuses on Frank. Frank being the father of this troubled family. He constantly mentioned that he has a troubled childhood with his father, and his dad comes to visit the family who he hasn't seen since he walked out on him. So anyway, here are my thoughts on season 4. There is a main theme to this season that I noticed which stood out from all the other seasons. It's about improvement and redemption. So where we left off with season 3, Kevin was a huge disappointment to pretty much everyone. He failed in school, he's been failing with his music, and not much is going his way. Bill was always bullied and constantly vulnerable to whether that's his own family or Jimmy Fitzsimmons, and to be honest, even Bridget, his girlfriend for some time. I could also carry on by saying Vic got fired and dove into more drugs, but as I said, this season is about redemption and improving yourself. Kevin does a lot better in school, he's more motivated with his music, and that pays off with him getting a girlfriend, as you can see in the trailer, so I'm not considering that a spoiler since it's in the trailer. I won't go into what Bill gets up to, but he kind of turns everything on its head that he knew before, and he's a completely different person. Vic is so desperate to prove that he is still young, and he goes on his own little mission throughout this whole season. So overall, yeah, the characters all grow a bit more. If you took these characters from the end of season 3 and looked at where they are at the end of season 4, they've all changed. I wouldn't say for the worse, just a different version of what we would have thought we'd seen. But it's not just the main family that have changed or have their own story. There's also the neighbours, the Bonfiglios, I think I pronounced that right, and the Fitzsimmons have their own little story within this season. But yeah, I feel like this season is very unique in its own way, because the other seasons, my main favourite thing has been the humour. I feel like this season it kind of takes the humour out of the driving seat and puts it in the back seat, and it focuses a lot more on emotion. So obviously Frank has had a troubled past with his father. He comes to town and he's pretty torn up about it. He's angry that his father won't admit his past wrongs. He's annoyed that his children love him so much because they feel like he feel like his father's putting on like a fake show of himself, and then that also leads to his own family kind of turning on him a bit because he goes crazy trying to prove that his father's a bad person. So you're kind of torn between which side of Frank you're on, because you can understand him because we see some flashbacks. You can understand why he's so wound up about his father and why he doesn't want people to see a nice perspective of him. But then you also can sympathize with the others when Frank completely loses it and goes out of control angry. Now, as for cons, as I said, this season focuses more on emotion than the humor, which is good, but the overall story felt pretty cliche. There was quite a few cliches in there, and I really missed the humor. There was still humor in it. There was a lot of times where I got a good laugh out of it, but it just didn't feel the same. There wasn't as much humor. I either didn't laugh at a joke or I laughed out loud, and that's what I love most about F is for Family, that their jokes were kind of top level and they were bound to get a laugh out of anyone. But yeah, this season felt very cliche in some departments. It even had some kind of repetitions of previous seasons, and also I felt like we were kind of just repeating the same thing sometimes. So I felt as though they were kind of stretching out this story as much as they could into 10 episodes, and I feel like it might have been would have been better if it was just 7 episodes. I feel like that would have been perfect for the story, because there's a few kind of stretched out episodes, including one whole episode devoted to Rosie, which didn't make for anything entertaining at all, and it was completely different from what we had seen in previous seasons. So overall, I found season 4 of F is for Family still enjoyable, but the lack of previous humor brings it a bit down for me. I like the redemption stories, but I felt there was too many cliches and stretched out plots, and once again the lack of normal humor from the previous seasons does bring it down. So season 4 of F is for Family gets a 7 out of 10 for me, which is still a good score. Just I could tell a big difference from this one compared to the other seasons. Thank you for watching my latest review. I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of season 4 of F is for Family. I'll respond to all the comments, and yeah, once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.